Am I the butthole for not getting our new team member 2 bowls from Chipotle despite them writing 2x on their order? I manage a team of 6 people. We are now coming back to the office 1 day a week. I decided to get lunch for the team to show that I am appreciative of everyone coming back to the office. Eventually I can use the company card, but for now I use my own cash. Well, I ask everyone to write on this sheet of paper what their order for Chipotle is, and I was going to pick it up. Well, one of my team members, call her Kathy, puts her order down and then puts 2x. I was like, this is odd, but when I went to Chipotle I just got 1 bowl for her, as I did for all my other coworkers. I didn't want people to think I was being unfair or anything. Well, when I come back I give everyone their bowls, burritos, and Kathy flips out. She says why I didn't get her 2 bowls. I said I wasn't sure. She then starts raising her voice. I tell her we can speak in my office, but then she goes on to rant saying that I am giving her an eating disorder, that she isn't going to starve herself. I stepped away to my desk and called HR. She went to their office and then someone had a phone call with me. Besides what happens with HR, on a personal level, was I wrong here? I didn't want to be unfair to my other team members that I get one person twice the food. Not the butthole. Those bowls are large and they're expensive. It's bold of her to assume she could get 2. Eating just 1 is not going to starve her. It would be unfair to let her have twice as much food when most likely, that second bowl is going home for next day's lunch or dinner. Maybe set a budget for each person in the future to prevent this kind of thing, and recommend/allow anyone who wants extra to bring their own extra or their own cash to pay for it. Original poster replies. Setting a budget and all is a bit much. This is me paying out of pocket as a thank you gesture for coming into the office. I don't want anything written on paper about how much of my own money I am going to spend. While you are very nice and generous, a limit per person is wise in the future. Something like try to keep it under October 15, 2020, etc., please, to make it fair. Honestly, a normal person wouldn't be like, get me extra, especially when it's out of someone's pocket. Original poster probably expected everyone to have common courtesy, and this lady was greedy. Glad HR was involved though. Edit. Aw, thanks for the silver. This is true. But like with anything on this planet, there are exceptions. Too bad we learn the hard way, eh? The more we cater to these exceptions, the more we reinforce the idea to them that they can demand whatever they like unless we've set some kind of airtight agreement about what is and isn't allowed. We shouldn't have to play a game of monkey's paw when offering to buy people lunch. Wish you could say that louder. The more we cater to these exceptions, the more we. Wish granted. I've never encountered anyone like that so far at work, and I'm in my 50s. That woman wasn't just greedy, rude, and selfish, she was really weird. Especially weird to talk to her boss like that, even if she thought he was expensing it. The rant that original poster was going to give her an eating disorder and was expecting her to just starve, despite having gotten her food, was interesting. I recommended a €10 limit at work. I've had colleagues tell me that they are willing to pay the difference themselves if something over that limit strikes their fancy. Which is 100% fair, I think, and avoids any drama. This way everyone is happy. I could see someone making an upgrade, getting the sweet potato fries instead of regular fries at a restaurant, for example, that may have a small upcharge. That is fine. But ordering a whole second meal? That's just rude. Who the F orders 2 lunches from a colleague who's paying out of their own pocket on their first day? No tact at all. Not the butthole, not at all. 2x? Unbelievable. Icker. And they are going to give me an eating disorder with starving her. Like. Seems she already has one that includes eating excessive amounts of food in one sitting. Those bowls are huge. And as if she was prevented from eating anything else besides the measly 1 bowl she got for free. When I'm eating out on the boss's dime, I try not to order the most expensive thing on the menu, let alone ordering 2 meals, laughing out loud. And then she gets mad and yells at him when she only gets 1. I'm a 200-pound 630-years/O male. I have trouble eating all the food in one sitting even when I am hungry post-workouts. I misunderstood. I thought you were being reimbursed by your company. In that case, it's entirely up to you how you handle this. Personally, I don't think telling them they have $X to spend is too much if it's your own money, because it is your money they are spending. You don't have to write anything on paper. Just say, hey guys, let's keep it to $10 each this time around or something. Counterpoint: a lot of companies still operate, not saying I agree with this, on the if you don't use it, you lose it budget strategy, and you don't want to get squeezed next year/quarter on the perk. Also not saying I agree with this, will consider per diems to be part of compensation during negotiation if you travel or are authorized to expense frequently. I agree with this. I work in HR and push for as many perks as possible for my people. Trust me when I say I used to spend every cent possible on our group lunches when I was in a more administrative role. And would encourage staff to take food or donuts, or ice cream treats home for their families. If someone reacted this way, I'd be very put off. This is taking advantage in my eyes. If someone bought me lunch and it wasn't enough food for me, I'd figure something else out for myself instead of making a scene and create a hostile working environment. Not the butthole. What if she wrote down X3? Or X4? If she wanted X2, she should have offered to pay. Hey, I want an extra bowl, can I give you the money since you're already ordering? You shouldn't have to set a budget. Your team member was out of line. You can't give someone an eating disorder, and it's very ungracious of her to complain about her boss buying her free food. If she was afraid she would starve on one lunch, she should have brought a second lunch from home or paid for it herself. Sounds to me like she was trying to get you to pay for her dinner as well. I literally have never finished a whole bowl. I eat about half and then eat the other half the next day for lunch. Well, I did do that until I got food poisoning last time I ate there. Kathy probably wanted a free dinner. Not the butthole. I had a coworker who wasn't able to buy her own lunch for the day. I also didn't have much money, $20, in my account, but I hate seeing people not eat. I knew she had just forgotten her card at home. She wasn't struggling or anything as her husband worked and made good money. I, however, was single and struggling. I gave her my debit card and told her to grab something cheap from the food court. I was too busy to notice what she came back with, and when I went to get lunch, my card was declined. She ended up going and getting 2 meals for herself and one to take home later, so she didn't have to stop on the way home. I had $2 left. That was all I had for a week. I had to borrow money from my parents just for gas. She never paid me back because she kept forgetting. Some people just take advantage of the situation regardless. Wow. What a trash person. This would definitely get your tires slashed, just saying. Unethical life pro tip: rather than slashing tires, get a mason jar, fill it halfway with milk, and add a chicken thigh or drumstick. Seal it up good and tight. Place somewhere preferably warm or in sunlight, but hidden from view of the target that has been such a horrible person that this kind of revenge is warranted. Preferably in a car or behind a sofa. When that baby blows, oh boy. You are not getting that smell out of anything, no matter how hard you try or how much money you pay someone to clean it. Anything affected by the smell will have to be trashed at a total loss. Edit: double or triple bagged in Ziploc can be used if you feel bad about the broken glass, but if someone's been that horrible that you're doing this in the first place, I promise you the glass is the least of the problems that this revenge causes. Oh God, that's almost crossing the line. Almost. I had a now ex-friend whose job paid 3x mine as she was union. Whenever we'd go to a bar together, we'd buy rounds. She took to ordering exotic mixed cocktails when I was buying, but draft beer when she was. This happened a few times, so I thought I'd put the shoe on the other foot and try to order a single malt scotch on her round. She flipped out saying she was having a draft, so I should too, but couldn't get her head around the fact she'd been ordering mint juleps etc. when I was buying. Some people just always try to sieve that little bit extra. That's the worst. I had one that when we'd go to dinner, I'd get a simple meal and usually just water, and she'd ordered drinks, appetizers, dessert, the works. She'd pay for her own meal, but try to make everyone split the tax and tip equally, which could be substantial. And she always undertipped, and was often rude to the waitstaff, so I'd end up throwing extra tip money in too. After a few times I started asking for separate checks the minute we were seated, and still overtipped to compensate for whatever measly amount she left. Good for you on the tipping. My opinion of a person drops if they are low or no tippers. That reminds me of a time I went to the pub with my colleagues for a leaving do. There was about 10 to 12 of us. One of my colleagues got the drinks and food order from everyone else that came while we were at the bar and placed their orders for them. When the bill was rung up, all food had to be paid up front, can only run tab on drinks. She gave me £5 to pay for her meal, it cost more than that without the drink, and asked if I could pay the lot, and she'll pay me back. I said sure and paid over £150 worth. Turns out she told everyone she was treating them and never paid me back. I was struggling financially at the time, so it was a lot of money for me, and I didn't have an alcoholic drink, just a small juice and no food. There was another time the same colleague was asked to run a tab at the pub for another colleague's retirement due. She was given the director's credit card and was told the limit is £200 for drinks only. There were quite a lot of people, but it was enough for everyone to have at least 2 drinks each. We go back into work the next week and find out the tab was over £700 because no one was told there was a limit and people were ordering food as well, which made the bill run so high. While this one isn't food related, I picked up a friend from out of town and brought her to my town, about a 4-hour drive for me to pick her up and drop her back off. She told me in a call she would pay me $20 for gas money. Ended up me driving for 6 hours because by the time I got to dropping her off we found out her husband left his work phone at my parents' house. On the way back she said, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to give you that $20 now," as if she wasn't planning on it before, and kept hinting I should be grateful I was getting $20 for spending 6 hours in the car for her. Yeah, we don't talk anymore. She did a lot of other crap similar to this and tried to use her son to guilt trip me, so I ain't playing that game anymore. Good lord, it sucks. I have regularly seen colleagues help each other in the same situation, with either immediate reimbursement by bank transfer or reimbursement in cash the following day. Not the butthole. I believe when someone offers to buy you a meal, you need to be respectful of what you order. I try not to order the most expensive thing on the menu, and I would certainly not order 2 bowls. I don't even order 2 bowls if I'm paying for myself. If she wanted an extra bowl, she can use her own money to buy it instead of taking advantage of your kind gesture. Edit, spelling error, and add on, now I'm wanting Chipotle. Your comment was spot on, but I'd kindly like to mention it's gesture not jester, smiley face. Yeah, but someone was being a clown. At my last job, our manager would periodically take us to lunch for random birthdays, when we sign a new large contract, stuff like that. It was maybe 5 times a year or so. Most of us would get normally priced meals, like a burger, a pasta dish, something like that. Or if we went to hibachi, we would just get one of the regular hibachi meals. This one guy though, he would always get a steak, and usually order a lobster tail side or a side dish to go along with his steak. Or if went to hibachi, he would get lobster and shrimp, and sushi on the side. Every single time. It's just inconsiderate, I don't get it. On topic, yeah, 2 bowls is a lot of food. I'm about 270 pounds, and a bowl fills me up. Now it's possible she's a large woman, which is fine, I'm not judging. But if you're that large that a full-sized Chipotle bowl isn't enough food for you, then you can't give people crap for not buying a second bowl for you. Especially since original poster paid for this out of his own pocket. That's just ridiculously entitled. Sounds like Kathy is setting it up so no one gets Chipotle in the future. I'm sure she'll be super apologetic when HR decides that managers cannot treat their employees as someone complained when a manager did. Not the butthole. Being a greedy butthole, doing a tantrum about it, then complaining to HR should get her fired. Seriously, especially if she's new to the team, and take this as a clear sign of who she is as a person and just let her go. Exactly this. I feel like HR would just tell original poster no more lunches for your employees to avoid such conflicts again in the future. Then Kathy is going to be getting crap from everyone. HR here. Something similar happened at my company to original posters involving birthday/promotion/going away celebrations. Instead of providing food for everyone now, we only allow the meal comped for the individual being celebrated. Everyone else can pack their own lunch for those events. Not the butthole. You are not obligated to pay for 2 meals for the same person. Her reaction is way out of proportion too. I would just explain that you were buying 1 entree for everyone and it wouldn't have been fair for her to get a second over everyone else. The fact that would have to be explained out is ridiculous. Always takes just one but to ruin everything. Not the butthole. And for anyone saying you should have set a limit, if you're not a greedy butthole, you don't need a limit set, you would just assume from context what is appropriate. That's why when I take my team out for a meal, I order a beer and an app and sometimes a dessert. As the manager, I set the expectation of what's acceptable. Not the butthole. Your coworker already has an eating disorder if she is eating double what everyone else in the office eats. You should not have to specify 1 meal per person. My God, people are crap sometimes. Love to you, original poster, heart. Not the butthole. Your money. If she wanted 2 bowls, she should have told you, then given you cash for the second bowl. Even if you had been using the company card, there is no reason she needed 2 bowls. If she wants 2, she pays for 1. My immediate thought was she would say, "Oh, I'm so full, I'll just take the other bowl home and use it as her dinner," and she was just mad her plan didn't work. LMFAO. Not the butthole. This was precisely her plan. Free lunch and free dinner. Not the butthole. She was trying to get double the food for free. That's wrong. She has no reason to flip out on anyone, but I think she has much bigger issues. Not the butthole. Sometimes orders are missed. I've had that before and I certainly didn't throw a fit about it. All you both needed to do was have a calm conversation without the yelling and accusations. If you want more food, you buy it yourself. But original poster, I'd really like to know what the outcome of this was with HR. Not the butthole. She was rude to order 2 meals. Please let us know how the call with HR works. Good luck. Definitely not the butthole. Just because she asks for 2 bowls doesn't mean she should get 2 bowls on someone else's dime. If she wanted to, she should have paid for the extra bowl. You were already being nice by getting everyone lunch. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.